Hi guys, and welcome to this probably last video of 2019, and an unexpected video at that. I fully imagined that my last video of this year would have been the chronograph that I'm working on. However, on the bench, on the desk here, is this lovely, huge model kit of my favourite Axis World War II fighter. My favourite Allied fighter is the Focke Hurricane, which is very much the underdog, I think, and everybody sort of drools over the Spitfire, and as beautiful as a Spitfire is, the Focke Hurricane's got a charm all about it. It's always been my favourite, and my favourite of the Axis aircraft is the FW190A variant with a rotary engine. So, as you can imagine, I was absolutely delighted to win this in the Emodels Monday night live stream. So, huge thank you to James Mate at Emodels and all of the Emodels staff for being such really lovely people. And I have purchased numerous times from Emodels. Their prices are excellent, their customer service is second to none, their shipping is superb, and on top of that, if you watch the Monday night live stream, big thank you to Ted, and I haven't got a slap it on button, I need a slap it on button, and Foxx and Chris and Colin, the newest baby member of the Emodels Monday night presentation team type thing. Yes, so big thanks to all of them, and here is the Revell 1/32th scale, one huge, one to big scale, FW190A. I'm super excited that I won this one. This is just so cool. Great aircraft. But anyway, enough of the waffling. So yes, so a big package arrived earlier, addressed to me. And it was this, much to my delight. It shows how much attention I was paying at the time when they showed it on the stream, but I actually thought it was a 1/48th, and then this enormous box arrived, and I was like, what on earth is, oh wow. So yes, it's a 1/32th, 1/32th big. It's like tank big, as in, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, right, so there's the box. And it is a level 5 Revell kit, which is like hard, because they have easy and various in between stages and hard. And then we have got replicated box art on the sides and on the ends, and underneath we have some pictures of the actual model painted up very nicely for Revell box art. What do you think to that, Foxx? No people painted on that though, of course, which is where Revell really shine. And then a colour call out. So let's get this open and see what's in the box. It is the typical end opening box that we all know and love from Revell, and I say that most insincerely because they're really not the greatest of boxes, but that's Revell for you. We have a decal sheet with decals, surprisingly. Quite a nice array of decals there, and I'm assuming this allows you to build one of possibly 2 or 3 variants. We have a large colour, let's see. Oh, it does as well. We have a large colour. I just noticed that there and thought, does that come with a stand? And indeed it does. We have a large colour instructions with all the colour call outs. And this, I love this. Sprue call outs, so you can actually compare. This is great, not so much with the new. It's not as important with the new. But when you're buying, if you're ever buying anything second hand, the sprue call outs are just so useful. But handy with new as well, because, you know, it's always handy to check to see that you've got all of your expected bits and bobs on the sprue. So yeah, full colour instructions with handy diagrams showing you what needs gluing, painting and questioning. So you have to interrogate the wheels, apparently, and then you glue and paint the other bits. So yes, and they are instructifical, as you would expect. And we have, is that one particular variant? I think we've got a choice of 2 variants by the look of this. Yep, I think it's 2 different variants, so that's cool. So I'm going to pop those aside, and we'll just scoot in close and take a look at the, hang on, I'm getting tangled up here because I've had to lift my camera way up here because of this hugeness of this box. So I'm gonna scoot in, and we're gonna have a close-up look of the sprues. So here we are closer to the bench, and just for the moment, much as I love you guys, Active Atom, you're very cool dudes, and I like seeing all your machining videos and your lathe stuff and everything. Because the E-Models that's on my mat is out of shot, I'm going to stick that there because credit where credit's due. Thanks to E-Models that I won this in the Monday night live stream. So front and center E-Models. So we'll start with the first bag, and we have this enormous display stand base, which is kind of cool, with a big sticky up rod thing which it sits on, and a swivelly thing which presumably is all part of how the aeroplane sits on it, I'm guessing. That's something I will have to investigate later, but it definitely looks like some kind of swivelly thing, which is cool. And then of course we have got bits of the cowling, the upper cowling where the machine guns poke out to the front. That presumably is part of the wing structure, and then a couple of panel-y type bits there. On the next sprue in this bag we have the wing uppers and what look to be the ailerons or flaps or parts of, and then we've got the rudder, I'm guessing that will be, rather than the elevators. Yeah, that's got to be the rudder. Various bits and pieces, so it looks like there's going to be quite a few bits and bobs on this. I'm not going to open this one, but we've got a bag of clear bits and what looks to be 4 different sliding canopy rear sections, but only one front section by the look of it. So that's interesting. In the next bag we have the enormous complete wing of the underside with the wheel wells there, part of the fuselage there, and these which I suspect are the elevators, or possibly one of the elevators. Nicely detailed with panel lines, not too deep, rivet detail and scribed panel lines and the like, which is quite nice. And underneath that we have the 2 fuselage halves and various cowling components for the nose and the other elevator and part of the ailerons or flaps or some such. Numerous bits. Some of these bits I'm not sure, and I won't be until I start assembling it. But yeah, there's the fuselage halves. So it's going to be quite some size, this thing. It is indeed going to be quite some size. So right, let's get that one out of the way. So that's pretty much the body and wing, lower wing of the aeroplane. We then have 2 little bags, and I'm only going to open one because these look like they're replicated, and these are the tyres, nice tyre detail, and parts of the oleos and what have you, with your little sprung boingy bits for the oleo suspension. And here we have the covers for the retractable undercarriage. And there's the tail wheel just there. Various bits of the undercarriage here, the wheel struts and the I believe that's long range fuel tank, is it? Something like that. I'm not that well up on my aircraft terminology, but or rather military side of it. The actual aircraft bit itself I know a bit about, because I did actually fly at one point. I was part way through my PPL just before moving to Scotland, as it happens, and that's something I miss greatly. I used to love flying, very much. And the final sprue is this big fella, right here, which contains all of the engine bits. We have the prop, which surprisingly is moulded as a single piece. I would have expected that to have been separate, but not that it matters, but quite surprised at that. We've got up here the wheel, the buckets that fit inside the wing, which is quite nice, nicely detailed. So they're separate components and they fit inside the wing once that's assembled. And then we've got this beautiful rotary engine and all of its associated add-ons, push rods and exhausts and intakes, air inlets and various bits and pieces. The spinner, the nose spinner up here. This is obviously the cockpit, or part of the cockpit with the seat down here. So yeah, it's a lovely looking kit. This is going to be absolutely fabulous. It's going to be really, really nice. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but that's an overview of what's in the box. So once more, big thank you to the guys at Emodels, emodels.co.uk. I can highly recommend them as a customer who has bought things from them, in addition to winning this. You too can watch the Monday night stream and win things, and just watch it anyway, because it's great. It's great. It is one of my favourite live streams, and I have been a follower of that for forever, since Foxx was a little cub. It's fantastic. It's just great fun. Join in the chat. They're a great bunch of guys. Thanks to everyone at Emodels, one of 2 online retailers that I use and recommend highly. And as this will probably be the last video of 2019, cheers to one and all. Have a happy Christmas, happy holidays, merry non-specific family times, and have lots of fun, overindulge in food, feel fat, and spend time with your family and enjoy it. Cheers.